I think the camera looks a lot better. With this one, we got Ragna in the house. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another I'm Beowulf live stream. What are you doing? Look, we got Ragna. Ragna. Yeah, so the last time, because my monitor is built in where it's a one with Apple, and this is my typical live stream camera I hooked up, and they're both HD, but you can obviously tell this one is a lot clearer. Like, holy cow. Cole said, "Sup, Wolf." Camilio said, "What's up? What's going on, guys? What's going on?" So I'm here to answer questions and got some stuff to talk about. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Existing subscribers, hit the bell notification. You get notified as soon as a video or a live stream is uploaded. The giveaway for October is totally free. The winner is going to be announced on Monday's live stream. So it's totally free to enter. I'm trying to read comments and talk about stuff. So it's totally free to enter. You have to be subscribed to I Am Beowulf YouTube channel, my second YouTube channel, Beowulf Nation. Both of those. Like the video and then follow me on Instagram, IAM_Beowulf. If you're not into Insta, then you got to follow my Facebook page, I Am Beowulf. And totally free to enter. So take advantage of it. It's going to be the giveaway is going to be a Jet Tribe Life Vest. So somebody's going to win out big. Andrew said, "Sup, love the vids and hope you get a really nice jet ski in the future." There's something, once the SXR leaves, something else is coming that's pretty cool. So I am pretty excited. Robert said, "What's up, Wolf?" You guys probably like the thumbnail too. It's pretty... that's some saved photo I've had from something. It's supposed to be what's his name? Leader of Russia. What's his name? He's riding Great White Shark. I've had Putin riding Great White Shark. It's a photo of him that's when he's riding a horse, and then it's somebody said, "I'm not buying a 2020 GPA 1800R SVHO because the stickers are crooked." Yeah, the crazy thing is, like, the new 2021, or no, 2022, right? Yeah, the 2022 Yamahas will be announced in less than like 8 months. And just think about that. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Yeah, so let's get about a couple of things. So if you guys watched my last video when I was in the SXR 1500, so what's been going on from day one of riding this ski? And here we got Cash. Everybody's coming in to take like their own little view of what's going on. Look, we got Cash here. Cash just never even makes it on here. Here, before we talk about anything, let's get Cash wants to be seen. He doesn't come out. He usually just sleeps all the time. He's coming out of the darkness. Good boy, Cash. You got to turn the other way so people can see you. He's a good dog. Good old Cash. How funny this head shaped to him. It's like a egg-shaped head. And there's a battle behind me too. It's like you guys tune in. We talk about jet skis, and there's a wrestling match in the background too. This is a typical thing that goes on a daily basis here. So what's been going on, like when I've had all the Sea-Doos, the current's so strong here that the skis would go at different speed down the intercoastal, no matter any time of the year. It's just a fact. So the biggest fight with the Kawasaki SXR riding in here is it's just been first trying to learn how to ride a stand-up, and then riding somewhere that's so difficult that there's currents where the current, you can see the outlines if you watch certain videos. You can see how the current goes. So like you could go out there and be calm, but the ski is moving around like you have major waves or something. So the current will just guide that ski wherever its current's going. It's actually kind of annoying. So like when I rode it in lakes up north, the thing's totally fun to ride. And you come back here and everything you learn, it does not work here. So in that last video, what happened is there's just like the craziest thing too recently what's going on is there's just tons of pine needles that are underwater that you cannot see. So whatever happens when you're riding, you can't see them at all, but it's just packing that intake grate. So when the intake grate gets packed, the ski just goes like this. So if you watch the last video, I go out there. But the crazy thing is, like, I was running the Watercross of Texas intake grate and ride plate, right? And I've always found that thing has been a little bit more difficult riding it. And I went riding with it yesterday with everything put back to stock there. And the thing rode better, but then it did the exact same thing, getting all out of control once the stock intake grate was getting stuck with pine needles. I don't know how you can't see it, and it's happening. But in the last video at the end, you see the thing smoking, and it's never done that except for that one time, and you can't see any leaks, which is really weird. But the oil filter is right below there. I don't know. It's one of those things I could not duplicate it again, what was going on. But actually, when you watch the end of the video, when you have the helmet on, you can't see all the way down. And the thing was smoking like crazy right before I got to the boat ramp. So it's like, when you're out there, what are you going to do? You can't pop the thing off. There's no codes on that thing to show. So yeah, it didn't throw any lights. It never threw a warning light either. So that's the weird thing with it. So Robert says, I ride a ski in New York. I can't ride it all year. It's been 2 weeks and I'm going out of my mind. Yeah, today it was like 80 something degrees here, man. It's like, it still feels like summer. Yeah, so that was crazy. So when I went out riding it yesterday, the thing was easier to ride standing up. By the tail end, it got that intake grate packed up, and it's like, it's if I lived somewhere there was a lake, the stand-up would be awesome. The reality, the intercoastal, the current it's not made for stand-up jet skis, period. I mean, if you can't fine tweak something, and that's the problem. I would even say it's made for Sea-Doos, because the Sea-Doos you can't put a different ride plate on, because the ride plate's part of the cooling system. So it's just like, but the crazy thing is the Yamaha rides like no issues. You can't even feel it. Like when you're riding that stand-up, it's basically the best way to describe riding the stand-up when you're out with the current is like when you're on a plane and there's turbulence. You know, you're flying on a plane, like let's say commercial flight, and honestly, out of the blue, the plane just gets out of control. But the reality is a pilot notifies you that, probably because they're feeling like something, and I'm guessing, I'm not a pilot, but I'm guessing, they're probably feeling something in the joystick, and then they're going like, all right, be prepared, something's going to happen. It's the best way to describe it, is all of a sudden, boom, you hit these spots, and if you're kneeling or you're standing, the ski is just like, there's no, and it made it a tad better with the stock ride plate, but not enough to where you're like, there's no waves, and the ski has all these issues just to go straight. I mean, it's just kind of a nightmare to deal with, and I'm just done. I'm done. It's just every time we go out there, you don't know what's going on, and that's kind of what the Sea-Doos did. It always run different down the river, and it's probably because if it's just the current. Yeah, so that's what's going on with the SXR. So it's up for sale, and gonna get something else once that sells. But then the other crazy things, my last live stream, I said how I was frustrated I couldn't get the backup camera on the Crown Vic to work, and it was just a ground. It was just, I need to put a ground in a shorter area, and boom, worked fine. And then I just installed the Alpine, what is it, the ILX W650. So I got them, both cars had the exact same Alpine. And then I today hooked up the whole wiring harness. You got to get it all prepped for having, because I'm going to put 2 cameras probably in that car. So I got the camera wired, and I got this really cool like factory style one where you just go right through the bumper, dead center. And then yesterday I just got the trailer hitch hooked up on the second car, and it's all ready to ride. And then yesterday, the first time I was riding, pulling the trailer with a backup camera, and I'll tell you, it makes it easy because when you have those single trailers and you don't have a backup camera and the ski's off, you don't even tell where it's at. RXP 500 coming soon. Laugh out loud. No CDUs are happening until they fix their issues. Kitman said, "Did you see the Riva handling kit for the new Super?" I did see that, and I had to laugh. I mean, not to criticize anything. I think it's cool they got stuff out, right? The funniest thing is they're like, it's race proven, and they just came up with, they just got the Superjet, what, like a month and a half ago? How is it race proven? Nobody's even racing those yet. So it's kind of one of those things. It's crazy they can bust out something so fast. But then I'm just not impressed with the Sponsons with it. I mean, it just bolts right onto existing bolts, and it's barely anything as a sponson. And I don't even think there's really any adjustability. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other reason. Well, first reason I canceled the Superjet order is if it's difficult one stand up, it's not going to be another one making life easier. And then second, I just think it's just, I think they're going to change stuff. Like Yamaha is going to see it coming out and they're going to realize they need to have more stuff. I think the SXR 1500 is a lot better stand up than the new Superjet by like a long shot. Yeah, I just feel like they're rushing out. Like, well, the interesting thing is if you look at the intake that Work Racing came out for the new Superjet, and you look at the one at Riva, they look nearly identical, just changed like their plate that's going to mount everything. It looks like it's just basically like somebody stole somebody else's idea. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But there's going to be a cool ski coming to the channel. I'm not spoiling what it is until it happens. You guys will just have to wait and see. Something new is coming. Something new is coming. But the SXR has to leave first. But the good thing when it smoked, there was nothing wrong with it, but it's kind of scary when you're out there. It just happened once. It was weird. Right when I turned off the ski, then it stopped smoking too. But it's funny yesterday. So I had this Uber take me somewhere because I had to drop the car off to get this trailer hitch installed, and there's this lake, and you can tell this lake, there's a fair amount of alligators in there. And I'm looking in the lake, and you can see this lake, gator swimming in the center, pretty big from far away, seeing it. And I go to the Uber driver, I'm like, hey, you see that gator there? And the guy's like, what, there's gators here? There's gators here? I'm like, yeah, there's gators here. Hello. It's not going to be a Sea-Doo. I just said, until Sea-Doo redesigns everything, I'm not a customer of Sea-Doo. Cash is back. What's going on, Cash? Oh, boy. It won't be a Yamaha and it won't be a Sea-Doo. Good boy, Cash. Good boy, Cash. Honda. No. Nope. No comment. No comment. No comment. Cash, you just farted, bud. Look at this one come running out of nowhere. She is getting so big. Let people see you. She never. I'm right. Jump on. Uh-oh. Yeah, if you have an issue with your ski and it's throwing codes, man, I'll go to a dealer if you can't figure it out. You don't want to ride something if there's something wrong with it. You don't want to keep on riding it. That's a fact. But that's the thing is, like, if you had one of those, like the Maptuner X, you could read the codes and stuff with it. Yeah, they have anybody plays Warzone. They got Warzone till November 3rd right now, where they got the zombie mode. Oh my gosh. So much fun. So much fun. And they got where you could purchase Leatherface. It's pretty cool. I'm just like, this mode is just like, oh man. It takes the Call of Duty zombies to a whole nother level. A whole nother level. It's like literally the new Call of Duty game, Cold War. All these times I played it multiple times, these demos and stuff, I'm just not impressed with that. Well, I know right now, like with Yamaha, majority of all their parts are out of stock till like sometime next year. I guarantee you, like I think there's a few of my subscribers who told me too, with Sea-Doos where they stopped working and engines stopped working. They're still waiting on engines. They're not able to get them. What code was it? Actually, I might have this thing. I can tell you what code it is. You know the code number. I probably could. I might have it in this thing where I could look. I got the shop manual right in front of me right now. It says you post what the code is. Maybe this shows what they are. It has to have it in here. I wouldn't doubt it. Let's see. Oh, I got the whole wiring diagram in here. Oh, nice, real nice. All right, so what's the code? 158. 158. Yeah, I got this right in front of me. Yeah, it says changing the trim angle is impossible. It says here, check the electrical trim switch operating using the YDIS. Measure, and then it says measure the electrical trim switch resistance. It's in 726. All right, get ready to snapshot this. See how close I can get you to see this. This is what they want you to do. Gotta bust out that voltmeter. So obviously, if you have an issue, this is where it's coming from. I sold my Jeep, so I don't have my Jeep SRT anymore. I sold it. Sold it over a week ago. Week and a half ago, I think. Yep, it's a week and a half ago I sold it. I'm rocking two Crown Vic P71s, and it's perfectly fine for pulling jet skis. They got that vinyl floor. I have to tell you, it was so nice last time riding because I had all this like wet boots, all this stuff. You just throw it right in the back seat. Don't swat my feet. And there's nothing's like there's no carpet. That's what people don't realize. I had to honestly say the Crown Vic is like one of the ideal. If you want to go jet skiing and you want the vehicle for doing it, it is seriously no joke. One of the best vehicles for pulling stuff because it can tow 4,000 pounds. So pulling jet ski is no problem. You have the vinyl floors. So like what people don't realize is you have like the carpets and you have stuff that's wet. I mean, you could have mold or electrical issues because of, all that sitting there. And it's the same thing too. Like when you have the seats on the jet ski, people don't realize how much moisture is underneath those seats. Somebody asks, that's not the owner manual. That's the shop manual, like a dealer would work. That's not an owner manual. That's if you were working on these for a living, it's a service manual. Don't chew anything below there. You are just this bad baby today. Ragna, don't chew nothing down there. So basically having these like vinyl floors is a big key thing there. I don't think you'd want to wash it with a garden hose. You just wipe it right up. I tell you, like the worst thing having that Jeep SRT for pulling was like people don't realize there was a whole platform underneath there that had all the electronics. It was not like there was like a whole nother like this below there of all this equipment. And it is like that was not an intelligent vehicle for doing that kind of stuff by far. That's how I had to laugh. I watched a couple of videos of people who got the first experience riding that new Ram TRX. And it's like $100,000 off-road truck. And I'll tell you, if I was going off-roading, that is, I don't even care if I had unlimited money, that would not be on a list of vehicles. So you got the whole door panel that's all leather. and then he has big suede center console. And it's like, if you're doing outdoor stuff, you're wet. Like, leather seats and you're wet are not an intelligent thing to mix with that either. That's it. Just that. Usually, some of those like the crazy thing, that Jeep SRT I had, man, it's like a $75,000 Jeep, and that's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Robert said you should get a boat so you can bring the dogs and some girls and make content. I would not want to take the dogs on a boat. There's too much stuff in the water. I wouldn't want them falling off and something happened to them. I don't think they would sit still if you're riding a boat. These guys are just they're wild. I wouldn't imagine seeing them on a boat. Well, they said I've taken the dogs on the jet skis. They like doing stuff like that. They'll sit right on my lap. But I don't do that stuff in the summertime. It's too hot out here too. Majority of them, they wouldn't want to be sitting outside all day being stuck on that. Yeah, I've seen videos when they have the Raptors and they like jump minor terrain, and then the whole vehicle bends. It's actually interesting. The first generation Raptor, how you can tell that they have a bent frame. Go look there, and you go to any dealer has a used one, and go look between the cab to the truck bed, and if the line's not perfectly straight coming down like how it should look, that's a telltale sign that the thing has been jumped and the frame has bent. And I think like the new ones, they're changing all the coil suspensions and stuff. I saw some video somebody sent me showing me that. Well, then there's this article like in the Chicagoland area, people are targeting any SRT vehicles as Jeep, Dodge, and stealing them right from people's houses. And the crazy thing that people don't realize with like the key fobs that FCA use, so you can buy equipment online for like $150, not even that. And you just have to be 150, like I think it's 100 or 150 feet away or less. You could be like, somebody could be in their house, right? And if somebody had this device and you just be like 100 feet away, and you could like basically scan it and replicate the key fob to start up the vehicle and stuff. It's actually pretty crazy. That's why I show those videos on my Amazon store. I'll type it right up so everybody can find this too on there. Amazon.com/shop. I am Beowulf. And you'll see this bag I use. It's under jet ski riding gear. And it's this little bag that floats, but it's a Faraday bag. So when you put something like that in there, it's blocking the signal. So like even if you have a second set of keys and you keep them in your house, somebody could just be right outside your house to scan that. So kind of that stuff is a little crazy. My dad has a Durango SRT, and I was telling him, man, they're already giving all these whole notifying that near where they live that like if you have vehicles like this to park them inside your garage and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. Cole says, I've never seen a Crown Vic towing a jet ski before. Well, I do it all the time now. So, yeah, I think it's just like any other vehicle. I mean, people tow, like I've seen videos where I've actually seen in person, people like with Corvettes pulling jet ski trailers. I mean, you don't need, I think, to be honest, I mean, you can pull whatever you want, but I think somebody pulling with like a truck, a single jet ski is just, I think it's a little overkill. I mean, I see pulling a boat with a truck, but I think if you're like I mean, if that's what you already own, I mean, but you don't need to have like 4-wheel drive for, I mean, you're pulling a little jet ski trailer. I mean, vehicles should be able to pull that right out of the water. Plus, the biggest thing I hated with the Jeep SRT is like full-time. I don't know if you consider it. Yeah, it would be considered on-wheel drive. But you just, the thing was not, it would just, you assume, it had got pretty good gas mileage, but majority of the time, it just got, it was got pretty bad and stuff like that. That's the one thing I like about the Crown Vic. You can put E85 in it, stock, or you put just like regular. I mean, that's just like, who cares, man? That's like, sometimes when you get, like, I already had to put premium fuel in the jet skis, and luckily our fuel's pretty cheap, so it doesn't matter what you're running. It's all like under two. I think premium is like under $2 here, so it's not that expensive. Somebody said, I seen Civics pull jet. I mean, as long as you research the trailer hitches, because the Crown Vic could tow 4,000 pounds. I mean, that's actually the crazy thing, just to think of that. So that if you had a Jeep Wrangler that tows 4,000 pounds, the new, and I've said this before too, the new Ford Bronco's coming out, which is again a 4-wheel drive truck, that tows the max 4,000 pounds. And here's this little, well, Crown Vic's not little, but I mean, here's this car. But I'm pretty positive the Crown Vic shares what has the Mustang 2-valve engine in it, and then it, I'm pretty positive they run the F-150 transmission in those. So it basically has a truck transmission stock. It's funny when these dogs just like, everybody's just asleep. No moving around. Everybody's just like knocked out. Brabus says, don't you hate the people that bought a jet ski and don't even know how to back it in the water? That is what pisses me off so much. But you got to think everybody has to learn something, you know? Some people backing up a trailer is really hard. Like, you know, people have to learn. Probably pisses me off when I'm going to, like, well, yesterday when I take the stand up, that's the most aggravating thing. So stand up, like I like to the dock, because then you just have the tie downs. You just pull it straight off and bring it closer to when I get in the water to put it back on the trailer. Found that the easiest than trying to, before I was like driving it. I wouldn't drive it off, but I would drive it back on. And it just is easier because you can kind of like, it has to get so narrow. It has to be on the trailer a certain way. Otherwise it could like be totally sideways. So anyways, this guy was in this like tiny boat. And he took forever to get like, and then he tied up like right at the end or the beginning of the boat ramp. It was just so like, and it was just, I don't know, that got a little aggravating. There's nobody there. Well, the crazy thing is it's still hot out and you go to the boat ramp, there's nobody there anymore. Maybe there's one or two boats there, and it's like, feels like it's still summer here. It's kind of funny. It's kind of nice, to be honest. There was like one, I wasn't there, it was 4th of July. The main boat ramp, I go to, a boat started on fire, like completely on fire. And it was like still hooked to the trailer or something, man. That would be like entertaining. That'd be just scary, man. I'd be like, I'm out of here. I wouldn't even want to be. That'd be scary if you had to come in and then like that's going on and the boat ramp had to be shut down for so long. Imagine how hot that would be. I had it as like a thumbnail before for one of the live streams. If you went to boat ramps I go to, there's nobody there. You'd be just watching nothing. It's crazy how slow it gets like right now, where it's still warm out, but like people aren't going out. But we've had like I don't know flooding on that. I mean, it was like I don't think there is not hardly rain, so it's like crazy. The water's like it's had it gone up like at least like maybe 3 feet in a week. But it's like I said, is there's all these pine needles, and the crazy thing, even when you have the stock intake grate, is still blocking up, and it's like that SXR. So you got like the front part of the intake grate, and it gets still blocked there, and it just that's what's causing the ski to just go like side like violently tossing and stuff. And then I think when I was coming in again, something got caught in the intake grate, and it has to be these pine needles. I mean, it's just like unbelievable, and that is it gets frustrating. I'm gonna keep riding until it sells, but it's getting annoying. Maybe one day I'll take the trip up to one of these lakes, but it's like I said, 5-hour drive there and back just to get there. That's just too long. When you have puppies and stuff, I really can't even like be honest, can take a trip like that. You can't leave them. You can't leave a puppy alone that long. What are you doing, Ragna? Yeah, it's crazy. In the new car with having that canine cage in the back, it's real easy to run the wiring when you don't have a cage in the back because you can get to all these panels. And then when this cage is like where you could go under this lift panel to run cables, it's like, holy cow, it's like so hard. I haven't put the dogs in the cage in the new car yet with cage. Probably like the next couple of days, I'll take a minute one day. It's just it doesn't have it was missing the mat for the back. So that's why I was kind of waiting to have that. So they just don't have to be like on barrel aluminum. But I think this weekend's when I'm going to sell the other cage in the other car. I got all the bolts now. They finally all came. The other half of what I had ordered just came from Fastenal today. I picked up. So it's all ready to install. Usually when I see somebody, the kind of person I am, when I see somebody have difficulties backing up a jet ski or putting stuff on, I come up and I give people advice. I help out. I help them out. I don't sit there and watch. I go there and I go there and help people out. That's all I do. I think there was one video I made where there were some people on a boat and they were like messing around with it for like 40 something. They were like a 40 or 50 minutes and they were messing with it before I launched and they were still messing when I came back. And as soon as I had to help them too because I want to get the ski out of the water, but because I couldn't even tie it up. But yeah, I helped them out. They were new. They just bought a boat, and like it's easy to put it in. Like I've have a neighbor who bought an RV, and another neighbor brought it to them, and so they've never like actually pulled with it, and they don't even know how to connect the thing. They keep asking this other neighbor to like how to hook stuff up and stuff like. Who buys something like that if you've never done something like that before? Pulling a boat or jet ski is one thing, but pulling a big motorhome or, that's a whole nother thing. Especially you need a certain vehicle. You need like sway bars on it so the trailer doesn't sway. I mean, that you need to make sure you got all the right stuff with pulling because the bigger the trailer, the more stuff you need with doing it. And that's facts. I think this one rig I had was racing that dually had a wing in the front to divert the wind. find a photo of that. That's pretty crazy. Don't lick my feet, dog. Where is this? Photo. Yeah, this was the. That's when I first picked it up. Oh, give it to focus. It's hard to tell there, but it had the big wing. I find gooseneck trailers like the best to move around, and that just in general, I think is just all around it easier thing to pull. I had this Denali before. That thing was pretty cool truck. That was probably like out of all my trucks I've ever owned, that was like probably my favorite truck. Stop messing with my sandals and my feet. Stop. What's your this dog? She does this because she wants attention. She like does not want to be ignored. Ragnar, you are just get to be a pain in the butt. Come here. Come on. You need to be entertained. Leave my feet alone. But it's crazy. The mosquitoes, like right before the sun went down when I was out there working outside, mosquitoes were like attacking me like crazy. That is why I'm indoors doing the live stream. I did not want to be outside. It's like they're just really bad right now. Probably the worst they've been all year, all season. But if you want to find one of these service manuals, you find these for sale there. Under a certain section on the Yamaha site. That's where I found this one. The crazy thing is, I got a really nice one for the Kawasaki too, and you can get that on Kawasaki's site. But not like Sea-Doo, you can't buy one. It's like the silliest thing. Leave my feet alone. You are getting to be bad tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna make this one short. If we don't get some questions going on, I'm gonna tap out early. I'm gonna be sitting here that long, so. Dan says, I think you should put up bleachers and sell tickets to launches. I don't know if people pay to do something like that. It's gonna be like an auction. Get it going, or I'm tapping out. All right. Somebody said, Beowulf, how often do you change your oil on the GP? I changed it twice. I'll have to do. I'm waiting to do the third oil change. Like pretty much after like we have like a month and a half where it gets really cold. And that's when I'll do it again. But basically, I think it was like when I had 5 hours, and then like the first break-in oil change I did, and then I did it. Let's see, and I think I did it again. So I did that once, and then I think I did it when I had like 15 hours or something like that. I know I've done it at least. I've done it twice, but because of what am I? No, it had been like 20 something hours is when I did it, because I have like 40 something hours on it now. But the oil looks good. But then the oil I use, it's on my Amazon store too. Amazon.com shop. And it's modal. I find that the best. I don't like using that Yamaha loop. My opinion. And like all the cars, I run Royal Purple. And the Kawasaki, I run Royal Purple too. Because the one that I run with the modal that's specifically made for jet skis. It's not like a universal oil. And then they have stuff in there to help to protect, like if you have like with salt water and stuff like that. It's you got to read the stuff they add in. It's really good stuff. I think it's the best stuff on the market. So basically, yeah. So I've had like it'll have to be soon when I do my next oil change, but I want to do it after it gets cold, because I don't put a lot of hours on. Yeah, I run the Canon oil filter is what I run. It's that would be under the Yamaha GP 1800R section. John asked, what's the biggest difference from Myrtle to moving from Illinois? Probably the biggest thing is property taxes. I was talking to somebody last night from Illinois, and they weren't really familiar with Myrtle Beach. I asked the person joking around, I was like, oh, what do you pay property taxes? The person told me what they pay, and I told them what I pay for property taxes. The person's like, that is not true. And I'm like, 100%. You get taken advantage of in Illinois. That's probably like the biggest thing. Biggest difference too, there's no snow. I mean, it has snowed here. It could snow in Florida, but it's not happening on the regular. You can't even. There's not even a comparison between the two. I like being down here. I think Illinois. It's fun to visit for a short period of time. You can run whatever oil you want, but I like stuff that's like specifically made for something. And again, too, never had an issue with the Yamaha. Somebody asked, do you plan on doing any giveaways? I talked about that in the beginning. The whole live stream. I'm doing free monthly giveaways. The only way you get to enter is you have to be subscribed to I'm Beowulf, Beowulf Nation, my second YouTube channel. And then you have to follow me on Instagram. I am _Beowulf. If you don't do Insta, then you got to follow me on my Facebook page. I am Beowulf. And I'm picking the winner on the live stream on Monday. Modal is the best. I mean, if a lot of people aren't aware, if you lived in Europe or any of that, you know Modal is the best. For example, if you're road racing any type of car, full out race car, street car, the only oil or the brake fluid you'll be running in there is Modal. It is the best stuff out there. I'm telling you. I don't care. I mean, you could like AMSOIL, but I guarantee you, you know, Modal is like it's not even a comparison to anything else. But I'm picking the winner on Monday's live stream. So we'll be live when somebody's winning Jettrim like this. Yeah, you gotta check it out. Modal stuff by far, like they're a huge company and they make a bunch of different stuff, but it's a little pricey. Like you can't go to like an AutoZone or any of that and find Modal. You have to buy it online. I mean, I guarantee there's probably people that sell it somewhere, but like you can't just locally go buy it. But if you were in like Europe or places like that, I already will tell you that's hands down the best stuff to use. I'm not saying like other brands like AMSOIL and all that. It's like think of Redline oil. That used to be like really big. I don't even know if they sell that stuff anymore. I remember that was like a huge deal. All the Redline oils, and then I remember even too Royal Purple was the same thing. Like Royal Purple, you can only get online, and then now you can buy that at AutoZones. And that oil's pretty good. I think it runs good. I noticed the Crown Vic running better once I put the Royal Purple in it. So I got to do the oil change on the new car. Daryl says, you're staying with the GP for now, or did you decide to buy it again? I'm not getting the new 2021 GP. I'm waiting to the 2022, which will be announced in less than 8 months. But there's some other ski replacing the Kawasaki once I sell it. Where I said I was watching some of the old videos and stumbled across a gem, a CD lice, but I still I still had that plate. I was debating to get rid of it, and then when I sold my Jeep, the general manager is like, "You can't get rid of that. Somebody would have to pay you money to have that plate." And I kind of thought, like, "Hey, that's true. Nobody else in my state could have CD as a license plate, so best I guess I'm just gonna keep it and just be funny." Top secret. I'm not telling anything what it is until it happens. I'll give you a hint. It's not going to be a stand-up. It's not going to be a Sea-Doo. It's not going to be a Yamaha. No comment. No comment. Somebody said, did you pick up your Superjet? They're not even out yet. They won't even be. I don't think they're coming out to the first of the year, and I canceled the order with Riva Motorsports. I was unhappy with some of the treatment I was getting from them, and pricing that was put together was like more than like it's cheaper for me to go buy it at a dealer 40 minutes from my house than go drive 10 hours to down to them. It was actually pretty ridiculous. I had this whole email from the owner of Riva, like, "Oh, we'll give you this really good deal, do this and that." They're like saying they were going to send me that whole handling package thing. And it was just like, there's sometimes I think Riva's a good company, and I think there's sometimes I'm not 100% happy with them all the time. I'm not buying a Honda ski. I don't know why he gets all obsessed about turbo jet skis. To me, I'd rather have a ski that is quick, but every time you go ride, it works and you're not tooling around. Or that's the reality. All those people have turbo jet skis that are modified with it. They don't tell you is how much issues they have making the thing run all the time. It's not like you can just fire it up and go without issues. So. Riva uses an HKS blow-up valve, but even too, the Yamahas use stock to use HKS superchargers. That's why I personally think Yamaha's the better brand than some of the other stuff that's out there, in my opinion. And even the Hondas that are turbo, they're not that fast. I mean, I think my stand-up is about as quick as they are. This Dan has pretty fast acceleration. Like when you're in a lake, like the crazy thing is I ride it when I was at Lake Geneva, huge waves. The thing is like fun and you can like really get around with it. You come here where the current's so strong and it's just like, where are you? It's like literally you learn stuff and you come here and it's like, forget whatever you learned. It is like you're just fighting to just control the ski. Somebody asked Beowulf what's off of skis. What's your favorite cartoon as a kid or even now? I think that's a G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was like, I remember that was like a big thing watching that in the 80s. That was cool. There was a lot of stuff. I remember I got into like Ninja Turtles before anybody even knew who Ninja Turtles were. I remember I was at a grocery store. This is like before the cartoon even was out. And they had like a Ninja Turtle toy and nobody even knew what Ninja Turtles was. And I'm like, I don't want to get into this. And nobody even knew what it was. I remember I had this birthday party when I was a kid. My grandpa, he's not alive anymore. He died a while ago. But he was in the Army Air Corps in World War II. So that's before the Air Force. And then he was in the Air Force Reserves during the Cold War. And he was a major in the Air Force Reserves. And I remember there was, because that's when O'Hare had an Air Force base. And we got a tour of the whole Air Force base. I remember the birthday party. All my friends, they thought we were like jumping out of planes, parachute. Like I thought we're going to war or something. Like I don't even know what I thought was gonna happen, but it was pretty cool stuff. We got to go and all this stuff and take a tour and stuff. It was pretty cool. Not a typical person would get to do for their birthday. It was pretty cool. What was your favorite cartoon? The stuff now is just like I don't think anything new that even like would intrigue me to watch. That's actually I had it changed before older videos. I had like a little outro of GI Joe, and then Hasbro was like flagging all my videos, and I had to remove all those out of the videos. And it was just a short thing, and I'm like, nobody even knows what that stuff is. Like, and it's because Hasbro's, they're coming out with another GI Joe movie. They got a Snake Eyes movie coming out. It was funny because I was at the AutoZone getting stuff a couple days ago, and then a lot of people. First, before I say anything, could anybody guess what this is from? This whole it looks like Tetris, but what is does anybody know what that is? I'll tell what it is if somebody could guess what it is, but otherwise I'll tell you. But when I was there, this guy's like, I can't figure out what that is. I know that from somewhere. And they're all looking like, what is that? And they couldn't figure out what it was. I gave a hint what it was. Yamaha is the cheapest for insurance, though. I have to tell you, that's a fact. Any guesses what that is with the tattoo? It's gonna be like a auctioneer going once, going twice, going 3 times. Nobody wins the free gift. It's from G.I. Joe. Snake Eyes had that tattooed on the same spot on his arm. Something else, Apple or Android. Apple. I've owned an Android phone once. I couldn't stand it. Somebody asked, "You missed the old racing days?" Nah, I really don't think about it much, to be honest. The world was a different place back then. Would you go back? Probably, most likely not. It's just way too much money. Like a season with a lot of those series I raced in, you'd have to get sponsorship money about like 300 to like $500,000. That's a lot of money, and that's from like the early 2000s. Imagine how much money it is now. I mean, it's definitely I don't know. There's some inner stuff I know about the whole racing stuff. Sometimes I guess when you know so much, you don't want to tell everything, but it's definitely not cheap. And I don't know. I don't think there's like an audience that really watches that stuff anymore, to be honest. I mean, like NASCAR used to be really big. You really don't hear about that. I mean, in my opinion, I think jet ski racing, there's no real place to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool they do it, but the reality is it's just, I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be cool to race jet skis, but in a certain sense, you couldn't go to a company and try to get them to sponsor you unless it's even like, for example, you have like Brian Baldwin, who's sponsored by Riva, and the only thing that he gets out of it is he gets like free parts on something if it breaks or something. Like it's not like they're giving him money. I mean, it's actually, to be honest, it's kind of crazy. Got like huge logos. Like when I race cars, whoever had a huge logo was giving you like a lot of. It was not like you giving some parts or something. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just my opinion. I mean, but then too, some of these series they only have what, like 4 races. I mean, that's not even like, that's like hardly anything. I mean, a lot of even like the big car racing. I mean, it's just a lot of money you have coming up with, and a lot of people I race against. You have like Graham Rahal that I raced against. I mean, his dad was a race car driver. I mean, it's like an easier way to get sponsorship when you have like a name like that. Or I race against like Marco Andretti. Look, he has his grandpa that raced, his dad. I mean, it's just a whole uh, different level. I remember when I was at the one race and we're all talking with all the different racers, and then there had like Tom Milner, which I think he recently was racing for the court with Chevy with the Corvette or something. And he was talking about, because his dad owned like a bunch of dealerships. I remember him talking, he's like driving like a McLaren F1 at the track, like stuff like not everybody's doing that. And like just, he was just getting so much seat time. It was like ridiculous. I think it's just got a lot of Cole said, why aren't there more people in the stream? Because I think I'm looking at some alerts. This is a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. A lot of stuff on people's mind. I don't want to talk about it because I don't like getting in about that kind of stuff in life. But there's definitely a lot of stuff going on right now in the next couple of weeks. Everybody's real worked up. We're not going to talk about what it is because that's not like what I like to talk about. I think there's a lot of people worried about stuff right now. Yeah, but the racing was cool. You had like the Autobahn Country Club. That was cool. I mean, I kind of wish YouTube existed. YouTube started like in 2006, and it's not to like, I never would have thought it came to the level what it is now. And it's just too bad. I mean, you got to think too, cameras didn't work. You know, I was a dealer for GoPro when they first came out, when they had SD edition. I mean, this technology wasn't there, you know, especially for how much data it takes to upload a video. It's like that couldn't have been done back then. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And then it's kind of crazy with the new GoPro, like where it's at now and where it was before. I mean, I remember you had to buy the lithium triple A's to get that just power them, and you had no way to know when the battery was dead, and it was just like you didn't know what you were seeing. You know, like it's just crazy. You got the app to check stuff now. It's just unbelievable. Pretty cool. Well, I answered like 1 or 2 more questions. I'm gonna get off because I'm actually, I usually don't eat till after these. I'm actually really hungry tonight. Really hungry. And I want to get onto that. I want to get onto that Warzone. They got that zombie mode. That's all I'm thinking about right now. I'm like, I want to play that. It's only here to November 3rd. I'm pretty good at it. They got Leatherface. They got looks like he gets a chainsaw. No weekend live streams. Yeah, I don't think so. I've just moved them down to like the shirts are not up. I'm too busy. They'll get up soon. Just keep looking, man. They'll be up. Hard thing is I don't know how many I ordered with those, and then there's like there's just a lot of shortage of stuff. So, but I'll have to get them up. I got the hats up. The hats are up. Hats are ready to go. I mean, want to get a matching GP 1800R hat for their ski. That is up on the website. So, I answer one more question. I'm gonna get off. Whereas that's the GP 1800R HO good, or is it the GP 1800R SVHO better? Well, the difference is one supercharged, the other one is. I mean, you can hook all the same handling mods. So that actually is a really interesting question. So if you're going on handling, you just won't have that oomph and acceleration, but they're both handle identical. So that's a good question. I mean, if you're on a budget, the HO is the way to go. I guess just first, if you're in the predicament of looking at both of those, then you probably should go. Then you're probably thinking on your budget. So I'd be going on your budget than just having one just to say it's supercharged. Calb, I'll tell all the dogs you said hi. They're all sleeping. I got 2 dogs at my feet, knocked out. We got Pike sleeping. Willie's in his cage sleeping. They're all like chilled out. Yeah, but I mean, if you're in the predicament of looking at those two, then it has to be on what you want to spend. So I would go first. Always buy the jet ski what you can afford. Like I'm one of those people. Like I don't want to have any type of like loans anymore. Like no car loan, nothing. So like buy what you can afford, and it's especially the interest rates. Like when you buy a jet ski, you're obviously paying a lot more than what you could do paying cash for it. So I mean, seriously, buy what you can afford. Like work up. If you can't get certain things, work up to what you want to get. Kind of look at what your budget is, and what you want to spend, and think about like maintenance. If you know how to fix stuff yourself, if you like, because the dealers could get you up on there. It could be sometimes more expensive getting your ski work done than if you having your car worked on, which is a little crazy and a little scary. So if you're not familiar to do that, got to figure that all out. Look at what the dealers around you, what they charge hourly. I mean, it's pretty expensive. It's not cheap. Kelbass, anyone interested in the cow? I haven't had a single person interested. I'm like kind of like, anybody want to stand up? The problem stand up, there is such a small industry of people wanting those. It's not even funny. It's like literally it's gonna be a cool new ski. Well, the best by Merez, if your intercooler piping popped off, which it did recently, it'll be a new video coming soon with the GP. The ski does not move at all. It's pretty slow. I mean, the power band would be obviously the supercharger is going to be faster. I mean, there's no question about that. It's like it'd be like comparing if you wanted a Dodge Challenger and you wanted the one that has just the 392, or you want the Hellcat with the supercharger. I mean, there's no question which one's faster. I mean, it wouldn't be that comparison. There'll be a video that something went wrong with the GP, but it wasn't a blame on Yamaha. It's blame on another company. Somebody said, if it's about speed, you should get the SVHO right away. The biggest thing, my best advice, you're looking to get a jet ski. If you're looking to buy what you can afford. Don't go buying something that's out of your budget. Not everybody can just get whatever they want. I'd buy what you can afford, because if you want to start modifying it, it's not cheap either. If you don't know how to install the stuff, modifications yourself, and you have to go to the dealer, it's expensive. So like all that stuff, you just got to think in there. And that's the reality with stuff. Like, for example, when I had the stand up and I installed the Jettrim, the tray insert, where the heck would I go to get that installed by me? Luckily, I know how to, I've never done that, but I did a really good job. Like I did know how to do it, but I wouldn't recommend somebody else to try doing that. I mean, you start sanding down your jet ski, sanding the paint off. I mean, I wouldn't tell anybody to do something like that. But like, where would you go to get that installed? If you want to go get your install one of Jettrim Seas, I've done 3 videos how to install that. It's easy for me, but I wouldn't know if it'd be easy for somebody else, right? Well, where would you go? Yeah, there's upholstery shops, but if they've never done that, they're not used to doing that. And I know up by me, there was, because before getting all that, there was people who did upholstery, and I kept on going, and they just didn't seem like to do the work. That's sometimes down south, people are just, I don't want to say the word lazy, but sometimes don't want to do stuff. But that's just something to think about when you're buying a ski and what you want to do. If you're all about the warranty, like I have to say, Yamaha has a really good extended warranty. Well, if you're all about speed and you start modifying the heck out of it, well, the warranty, like I remember after I got my Yamaha, they kept sending me I could have this 5-6 year, whatever, crazy warranty. But I knew it was going to do all this stuff to it. I knew it would be a complete waste of my money to buy that. But the reality is it's a good thing. But then when stuff breaks down and the dealer's booked out for months, then you're just sitting there like waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't know. John asked, do you prefer new or used? I guess it's what you're can afford. I don't know. Sometimes you can get used stuff pretty good deal. I got the SXR used, and it only had like 5 hours when I got it. So technically, I'd say it's new. That was a pretty good deal. I got a really good deal on it when I bought it. Well, the difference too is like when you buy new, you're wherever you're at, you got to pay taxes on it. And then you buy used, and then you don't have to pay taxes. I mean, that's a good way. But then when I've got like my trailer, because we don't have to pay, there's no plates on trailers in my state. So like when I bought my trailer out of state, I didn't have to pay taxes there. So I paid it was like basically buying it like how you buy something used where you don't have to pay taxes. And it's a pretty good deal. Legit. What's up, Wolf? How much going to be getting off this live stream? Been a little slow. Uh-oh, somebody's having a nightmare. So funny. The dog sounds like it has like hiccups when it's having a nightmare. Dog starts moving around in sleep like it's thinking it's running. Kelp says, I'm going to buy what I can afford. That's why I'm shooting for a 2017 VXR. If you definitely look around, you can find good deals. I just think it's like the high interest rates on a jet ski. You're obviously paying a lot more than what the ski they're telling you you're selling it for. So I mean, that's just stuff to think about. Like I know they got probably like really high interest rates. I mean, every time I bought a jet ski, I paid cash for it. So, because the problem is even like when you finance it, like I see it all the time when you see people selling used skis, and I've seen a lot with Sea-Doos, and they're asking more money than what they were used or new. And the reason they're doing it is because the interest rate's so high is why they're asking so much to pay off their loan. So you don't want to be that person. I mean, I see people where it's bone stock, and then they think and that's before the big demand where everybody thought they needed jet skis were all sold out and stuff. Yeah, just look on like Facebook Marketplace if you're looking for used. I just search Facebook Marketplace, and there's a bunch of settings. I think actually if you go on your computer, you can put more crazier settings. That's how I found that. Actually, that's how I think I found the second Crown Vic. Was like I did a huge search, and like you can do more on your computer on settings than on your phone. I did certain searches, and that's how the car showed up because it was nowhere near where I lived. I mean, there was like a 10 or 11 hour drive. The driver had to bring it to my house. The favorite portable anchor I have, it's on my Amazon store. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out. I'm really, 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 really hungry. I have to cook. Like, no joke. I'm really hungry. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys on Monday's live stream. And that's why I announced the person that wins the giveaway for October. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Beowulf Nation.